Speaking of the most popular models in American muscle cars, we definitely can't avoid the Ford Mustang. This is a battle-damaged version of
Jim
the
got it at an auction
for $11,000. He had a very serious accident. This car is being auctioned off. It has been parked for more than a year already. The damaged parts of this car are mostly concentrated
the front part of the car
and rear said to be very well Even the separator in front isn't damaged at all. Only 2 fixing screw rods were torn and Besides, broken. He is still very strong-willed. The front middle grid mountain is still intact. What's in his cabin? We basically haven't been hit too hard. I first cleaned off the dust briefly. The 5.0-liter V8 engine
she's just
inside.
Strong
Lying
motivation
there quietly is just his standard. You can start from the left door of the car. It has become quite unbearable to look at. This is exactly the main impact point. The whole car body has already dented in this situation. The chassis must have been twisted and deformed
But what's amazing
already.
is
his wheel is still basically in its original position. He even keeps air inside him. The car door is completely stuck. We definitely can't open it normally. You can only open the car door from the other discarded side. Panels packed in the car. These things are basically useless because of the bursting of the windshield. The car is already full of dust. The seats on the driver's side have also been deformed. If it weren't for the roll cage installed in the car, I'm afraid the original owner is probably in a dangerous situation. We can also see it from here. The roll cage has absorbed a lot of the trunk can still be open, but there's really nothing in it. Jim checked it thoroughly. It's not an exaggeration at all to say that this car is to drive a forklift to deliver the car to the workshop. The first thing is to put it on the lifting platform. First, check the damage to the chassis. Suffered such a big impact. You can also clearly feel the deformation. The main thing here is to check his drive shaft. Is the drive shaft and the gearbox damaged? Because the original factory transmission is not. It seems that these parts haven't been damaged at all. But the chassis and frame of the car are very deformed. The extra 2-side exhaust pipes have also fallen off. There's still a lot of things that we can continue to use upstairs. I'm really frustrated. Moreover, the most important thing is that the engine is in good condition. Started to connect. He wants to take a look at the big thing inside this cabin. As the connection of the line is the first thing that comes to mind is the car horn. I didn't expect his electrical system would still work. Due to the deformation on the driver's side, we can only find a steel pipe as a substitute. Instantly, the engine in the cabin started up. This is probably the best. It sounds like he's running very steadily, and you can also share the avatar that has been tuned. We can see it from the lit instrument panel. This car has only traveled 61,000 miles. If there hadn't been an accident, then this is definitely a nearly new car. But we can't ignore his problems now. That is the chassis. It seems like such a severe impact. Direct repair is not a good option. The time invested, our manpower and energy will both increase another accident-damaged Ford Mustang. His car is in very good condition. The car paint is still as good as new. The main location of the damage is the front bumper on the frame guide rail. Although it also has some distortions and it's much better than the previous one. Moreover, Jim only spent $5,500 the most important engine and transmission and other accessories. This kid has put it up for sale online. Exactly $5,500. We can say not that this car body is and not we also drove the forklift directly. Prepare to use the method of making miracles. Let's fix this slightly deformed frame guide. Of course, we're not just pulling this out of thin air. Also already taken measurements. Moreover, this red Mustang is an automatic car. This also means they need to disassemble something replaced with more in front of them. Now we're about to start disassembling the engine from the engine. He went under the car, drained all the oil and water judging from the color, whether it's engine oil or transmission oil. They all look very clean. I didn't find any scraps inside either. Jim started to take apart the car. In this process, he also found more damages on this car. Some metal plates have cracked directly. Judging from the disassembled drive shaft, it is fully capable of continuing after removing the radiator. We also need to disconnect all the connections on the engine. Then there are the fixing bolts at the bottom. Then you can lift the car body, make the engine, transmission, and vehicle body. We also took off the subframe and they don't look damaged together, but the motor mount on the engine has broken. These can be solved by replacing them directly later. Jim uses the water cannon again. The engine was cleaned. In the event of taking advantage of its dryness, he also went under the car. Is there anything else you can continue to use? From axles to bolts, every one, which means saving money. In addition, he also prepared replacement tires in advance. Rear components like the rear axle, Jim has bought second-hand spare parts. He can also choose a complete set of components removed from the white Mustang depends on whether they are hit or not. Twist and match the tow arm mount. Finally, after careful measurement, prove that everything is fine. It can be used directly. So here you can put Rear components on the red Mustang. Since the keys to this car have disappeared, Jim can only remove the seat and open the trunk from the car so that the fixing bolt inside can be loosened. Then you can start replacing. Also replaced is a brand new differential installation. It is adjustable. Can be adjusted to the same size as the original bracket. They took down the front subframe of the red Mustang because soon the engine will be put in. But before that, also replace the broken bracket on the engine. These things are not expensive. Just replace it directly. In addition, the net exhaust organ and was some also brand new bolts and the automatic shifter on the car or something. Take it all down, open it, and it's full of dog hair. I don't know what the previous owner did inside. So what happens next? The engine can be integrated into the body. He's in the new cabin, except it's a little crowded. Others are also just right. This also saves everyone a lot of adjustment. The retaining bolts are also perfectly aligned. Then put the drive shaft, etc. are installed. Some unnecessary decorative covers on the body. Jim chooses to tear it all down. To his surprise, some dents are hidden under part of the lid. I don't know if it was deliberately used to cover it up. Now the new tires can also be installed. The body of this car was transplanted to the current. It went pretty well, and this is what Jim didn't expect. It can be said that no changes have been made at all. Then put on a new bumper, and then the radiator. In addition to various limits, you could say the front end work can also come to an end. Come to the car. Everything inside has to be dismantled because the front end of the white Mustang is not including the entire dashboard and pedals and things like that. It can be completely replaced. This will save a lot of trouble. Let's take the remaining speed limit off this car. They will follow the removed steering wheels and other components were hooked up again by Jim. How much can you get back to your original cost? And then the wiring harness off the white Mustang. Some parts of the interior of the car need to be transplanted. I have to twist deformed doors open. It's basically a piece of scrap metal. So the fastest way is to cut directly. This allows the components to be taken out of the car. Although the windshield is broken, but they survived intact. It's just that the surface is very dirty. Just do a cleaning later. These harnesses are plug and directly installed and connected. Also, his pedals need to be replaced. After all, the red Mustang used to be an automatic. The entire dashboard component has been cleaned up. Now it looks brand new. No changes are required. Install it directly on the car here. The result is also a perfect fit. There is no violation. The battery in the previous car can still be used. Jim doesn't want to waste. He only replaced one terminal block. I put it on my new car. In theory, you can now start the engine. He inserts the key. The meter suddenly lit and continued to start the engine is also responding. He didn't turn it on. There's not a drop of oil in the engine. And here's some fresh motor oil to add to it. Go under the car and install the exhaust pipe. And these exhaust pipes are from another boss. 302. Goodness, he's rarer. Ford only produced 750 but unfortunately, his body is a certain difference from his best friend. And this car was also badly damaged. So this can only be used as a parts car because it also doesn't have the core components such as the engine. Let's set up the intake system again. Jim got into the car again. He started the engine again. We can hear that he is now operating normally. But it will die down soon. Jim thinks it might be a problem with the fuel. We'll deal with this later. Now he is going to send the car to his friend's shop. We need to reapply the decals to then the car apply body black car film to the car roof and rear taillights. Back to the workshop. Everyone also took off the red spoiler because of the white Mustang. There is a larger black tail fin at the rear. This is more in line with Jim's aesthetic style. The GT logo at the rear switched to another 302 car logo. At the same time, he's found a red second-hand engine, and the headlights of the car can also be used. The headlights on the white Mustang install the front grille that we escaped together. We can't say that. The appearance of this car has now been basically but the inside of the car is still quite empty. So Jim escaped to boss again. The original seat of the 302, although it's a bit old, but after it's still much better than what was already. The most important thing is that they also have airbags. After assembling it, soon Jim started his first test drive. The problem of the engine stalling hasn't been solved yet. You can tell from your expression Jim disconnected the fuel pipe. Took out some fuel from it. Although we didn't find any, but there's a strange, indescribable gearbox by checking to disassemble and found that it was actually just a broken inside. Therefore, we decided to remove the remaining. Moreover, in the fuel tank, then add new fuel. After restarting it, it's just that there's no more of that. I just took a simple run in the yard. There has been no leakage so far. The restoration of this Ford Mustang B4302 is now complete.